Now I'm going to talk about day six. Yup, day six. Day six in Iraq was an actual normal day. Uh, by that time, I was exhausted from talking a bit too much. Uh, there was a lot of stuff that had to like set in my mind. There were a lot of things that I went around and I did, and a lot of conversations we talked about, and a lot of potential things that we have to. I even wrote it on my daily notes, like write down needs from the people. Talk to the designer, talk to the package manager, uh, discuss presentation needs. And when I say discuss here, I'm discuss it with myself because we kind of have to like. We ended basically the morning of day six with like a clear. These are the things that we need to do right now. We need to set the brand. We need to talk to designers. We need to prepare the actual like statements, the words we have to put around the tanks. We have to we have to start wrapping tanks differently, right? Like these are certain things. The second thing we have to do, like we actually have to have a team, a proper team that's able to support us when we need them. And this team needs to have a clear understanding of our needs, which is why the branding is actually very important. And remember, we're branding three factories. I was sent there to brand one, but like we need to brand three of them. Each one has to have its unique vision. And I'll explain it in a bit because like that day actually like enhanced what that decision of mine and kind of like pointed at why they are very much a necessary thing. But anyway, so what and the second thing that we needed to do is kind of like figure out the customer service that's happening over there and what we should do as a corporation when it comes to like the things that we need to care for or take care of or like establish. And one way or another, start interacting with our older clients, right? Because like we have people that already worked with us, and it's about time for them to start considering different things like a different tank, or just at the very least, where we could do good stuff with them. We could actually like find a way to give them gifts for like being with us for so long, and something like this. It's something symbolic, right? Like we're gonna be spending a couple of $1,000s on marketing. Uh, uh, we can find something, we can order something, we can go to a local place and actually like get some stuff that the locals actually enjoy, and we can kind of like make a thing out of it. Small gesture, right? Like, whatever. It could probably be like because you bought with us and you've been our customer for 7 years, next time you'll get a 40% discount, for example. Like these are things that are more like would show people that we actually give a fuck about them. But anyway, so that was the first morning. Then we kind of like I tried to reestablish with them what they're trying to do, what they need to be doing. I wanted to reestablish their mental fortitude towards the things. Hi, have you met Futani? Actually, this one is Sanfura. Sanfura is Smurfette in Arabic. What? So, where were we? Yeah. So so I did not want to like pressure their mindset because I figured, man, I've overwhelmed them. I wanted to kind of like I asked them, okay, so like are these the things that you think we should be starting with? And I was very much like kind of uh, wanting to see where they're at when it comes to the energy levels because I don't want them to be using one thing as an excuse not to do another. I need to tread carefully. Uh, although the actual like this my stakeholder, the boss, their boss, the owner, is actually very much like we're making a move. You either move with us or you don't. But I think that pressure is never a positive thing because a lot of people would feel like they're being overwhelmed just by the fact that their boss said that, which means us actually sitting with each other and kind of like trying to get over things would become harder. And I know that because I went through that. I went through that when I tried to learn coding. I went to a coding camp. And applying pressure doesn't work on most people. There has to be a more efficient way and effective way to do it. Uh, it burnt me out in 2 months. I hated coding. I forgot why I wanted to do it. I was super like, why the fuck am I putting myself into this? That became a thing in my head. And I don't know, maybe it's a personality thing, maybe it's a character thing. I really think like a small amount of people kind of evolve under pressure, but I think that kills something in them that's not supposed to die. I think it kills a sense of like individuality because they have to conform to whatever it is that's in front of them, but that's not their style. Although a lot of people explain that they eventually will evolve into it again. But I think there's a better way to create a lot more, a bigger base for them to kind of like evolve. So that was my mentality of thinking when I was talking to them because I did not want them to feel. But they still have to feel some pressure because I already experienced them going, I didn't have work, I had work, or I was busy and all that shit. And I'm like, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. It doesn't make sense. We're supposed to have, this is my time. You're supposed to only do stuff that I ask you. And you said this week is free for me, but you never did it. So what guarantees me in the future when I ask you to do something, you're not going to be like, I got busy. And again, it's low season. And again, they're not, they're doing well when it comes to sales because basically their margins are good and on average their costs are low. Like the owner knew what he was doing, but the way they work is very inefficient, very ineffective. Only one guy is actually super fucking efficient, and that's the guy that runs the actual factory. Like he properly takes notes, he properly rediscusses things, and he probably goes back and goes like, I didn't understand this well. Can we talk about it? And I go like, fuck yeah, let's finish our topic, and then we go back to it, right? So I was able to kind of like influence him in a positive way or understand how he could be influenced. But the others are kind of like, we're ready, but we don't know what we have to do, and we kind of like are not really going to be doing it in a way that we see because we're clueless. Whatever. Anyways, after that we went to eat. But before we went to eat, we went to see two of the agents of the country, of the area, sorry, the region. And it was funny because each one of these people had a completely different mentality. One was modern, we post on social media and we get customers and we explain to them about quality and all that good stuff. While the other was more, don't worry, I got you, I'll get you a discount, this is a good product and all that shit. But the funny thing is, it literally is a personality thing. Because the guy that was into social media was very much cared about his presentation and very much kind of like was well dressed and well spoken, all that stuff. While the other guy that didn't wasn't doing social media was more like welcome to my warehouse kind of thing. He was very much like an honest, straightforward guy that basically lived on his reputation over the past 30, 40 years. Like he built his character, and that's what represents his reputation. The honest guy only bought the brand that's of lower quality. It's still of a very high quality and it's still the best quality in the market because the plastic we use, nobody wants to buy it because it's more expensive. But it's still the lower quality. And it's basically this it's like 2 layers is the bare minimum that we're agreed to work with. Other places would not create layers, would just like put plastic and they would blow it up and it becomes like a very thin tank. Well, for us, the tanks are heavy and they're durable and all that stuff. So 2 layers and 3 layers are the lower quality ones. And then 4 layers and 5 layers is the higher quality one. That's why I wanted to separate them. They're already separated from a brand's perspective, but they're not treated like this because the people selling them are only selling them based on good quality or not good quality, right? And it's fascinating because like talking to these people, like realizing how they are and the logic they think, and I'm looking at the business and their office and how they approach customers and everything like that is very much represented by the products that they're selling. And I'm not looking, it's just like it's each brand, basically, these two products, each brand represents the salespeople as much as I would represent the customers that come to these salespeople. It was so pure from my perspective, like looking at it and going like, like thank you for your trust. Thank you for choosing us because that guy knows that if he gives lower quality shit to his people, they would not like it. But he's also the kind of guy that worries about money. and is always concerned with pricing and all that stuff. And it's only fair when his customers come in, what he's going to push them towards is what the pricing. And then he explains to them the difference in the two products. While on a monthly basis, 90% of his sales are of the lower price products. So still high quality, still good product. And he tells you that. And he goes like, but when I'm talking to the customer, I bring him in, I invite him for like soft drink or something. I discuss with him, I ask him what his needs. It's perfect. And because he's a trustworthy guy that people buy from him. But the people that kind of like have trust in these personalities are more people that kind of like debate things on a shallower level. Like I would wait an extra couple of weeks before I buy a tank if it means saving an extra $50 to buy the higher quality one because I know a tank's gonna wait for 10 years. It's gonna be this tank's gonna be with me for 10 years. But other people don't believe the 10-year thing because they've never experienced that in their life. So they would look for somebody they trust. And that's the guy, and basically their rationale and their thought process towards how they live is going to be reflected on how they actually enhance their lifestyle. Because ultimately, water is a lifestyle. Having clean water is a lifestyle. Washing your face every day is a lifestyle. Driving a car is a lifestyle, right? Brushing your teeth is a lifestyle. So all of these are kind of like represented by the people themselves, the salespeople themselves, and is reflected directly in the people that buy from them. And I found that fascinating, but also like amazing because whatever I'm thinking about when it comes to how to approach people became a bit clearer in my mind when the separation of the brand will happen, the brands will happen, and each brand will have its own tone of voice. Yet they're both coming from the same factory, so the factory itself will be like the mother brand that's holding everything together. It was a good day. We ended up having lunch. I love their food over there. They just don't use salt, man, or pepper, or black pepper, or spices. They don't. Just like everything the way it is, which is weird, but like it makes you eat more. It helps you eat more and enjoy the food more. But you do need a nap for like an hour every single time you eat. It's just too much. Yeah, I miss it. I'm excited to go next month. I'm excited to go next month, but I have to finish some stuff first. Yay. All right, this is our video. Day number 6.